Catching stars in the act of making planets is one of the best techniques we have for understanding how planets form. When stars are young, they are often surrounded by a disk of gas and dust from which the mass that makes planets clumps together. These disks are often found around large stars, but no astronomers have found 4 examples of the disks around low-mass objects, including 3 brown dwarf planet-star hybrids. The new discovery will help us understand how stars and planets are made. It also means many more objects like this could be hiding new planets under a cloud of dust. 2 of the objects are possibly between 42 and 45 million years old, the researchers said. This would make them the oldest objects surrounded by active disk systems ever found. Researchers from the University of Montreal and the Carnegie Institution of Washington found 4 low-mass objects surrounded by disks. 3 of these are small, between 13 and 18 times the mass of Jupiter, while the 4th is about 120 times the mass of Jupiter. Finding disks in low-mass systems is really interesting to us because objects that exist at the lower limit of what defines a star and that still have disks that indicate planet formation can tell us a lot about both stellar and planetary evolution, said lead author Anne Boucher from the University of Montreal. In these clouds, dust grains collide and clump together to grow into pebbles, like a snowball rolling down a hill. The pebbles then form boulders, which grow into planetesimals, planetary building clocks, and the process continues to happen until rocky planets are made. Some of these go on to form the cores for giant gas planets like Saturn and Jupiter, while others stay rocky like Mars and Earth. This depends on how hot the planet is while it forms. Some dust lingers for a while after the planets have formed before it is eventually swept away. But until that happens, a cooler, thinner ring of dust surrounds the star. When astronomers find disks like this, it is important in working out what kind of disks they are. None of the 4 new objects were in the dusty aftermath phase. They were all still forming planets. There is still so much to learn about disks around low-mass objects such as these 4, said co-author Jonathan Gainey from Carnegie. Hopefully, we can conduct further research on them and be able to narrow down what kind of activity is happening in them and whether or not they would be good targets for future planet hunters.